Hey, gorgeous. We are having a simple wellness and mindset chat today, and I'm just going to be answering some questions that you have. So, the first question is, how do I stay consistent with healthy habits when I keep falling off track? How do I stay consistent with healthy habits when I keep falling off track? Honestly, number one, I would recommend the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. And there's a few different methods that he talks about when creating habits and staying on track. Something to me that really stood out is that a habit has to be fun or enjoyable for you to continue to pursue it. If it's not fun, if it's dreadful, then you're not going to want to do it. And so you have to have that aspect to it. It needs to be fun, it needs to be enjoyable. So find ways to throw that into it, make it fun however you can. It has to align with your personality. And another thing that is important when creating habits is that it has to be in the middle of something that is hard for you to do and something that's super easy for you to do. You need to find that sweet spot. So, for example, if you're trying to learn Japanese, it's going to probably be in the beginning hard for you to go ahead and study for 2 hours straight. And it's going to be really easy for you to just watch a simple YouTube video about someone speaking Japanese or something like that. So you need to find something in the middle that's a little bit hard for you, but also not too. It's okay. So it's going to be in the middle of challenging and easy. So it has to be that sweet spot of like, oh, I feel challenged, but it was actually quite fun for me to do. It's easy for me to do. And then another thing you can do is habit track, which for me is so fun. I remember maybe like 2 summers ago, I was getting into the habit of playing my guitar every single day. So I set up a calendar, and one of the habits that I had was to play my guitar every day. So every day I would play my guitar, and then I was able to put a check. So that's how you track your habit. You put a check, you make a to-do list, and then put a check next to the habit once you complete it. Putting that check mark every day and looking at the end of the month and seeing all my checks checked off that I played my guitar, or maybe if I've missed one day here or there, whatever, it's still so satisfying to see all the progress that I made in the physical form. So that also helps you to see the worth in continuing to pursue that habit, that, oh, I actually made progress. And there's so many things you can do. I'm gonna go on, but this is probably the last thing I'll say, is that you can take a video or some type of proof of you when you first started that habit, and then once you do it for a while, take another video or picture and compare. So back to the Japanese thing, if you started learning Japanese, take a video of you speaking as many words as you know, do it for a month, and look back at the video, make a new video, and see how far you have come in that. And that's going to keep you motivated to keep going. And honestly, okay, I said this was the last one, but this is really the last one. In the beginning, consistency is going to be more important than intensity. So it's better to do 10 minutes a day every single day rather than 2 hours a day once a month. The consistency is going to take you a long way. So just start small, have fun, make it slightly challenging, but also kind of easy, and habit track, and also take a little before and after. Those are just a few tips. Read that book. It's going to give you some amazing ideas on how to create some healthy habits. The second question is, what's the best way to manage stress when life feels overwhelming? Ooh, this is such a good one, because I love feeling stress and then actively doing something to combat it, because it's like, okay, thank you that I'm feeling this. So number one, right, you're stressed. Acknowledge the stress in the moment so that you can feel where the stress is coming from. When you feel where the stress is coming from, you are able to do less of that thing or find a way to make that thing more enjoyable. If it's something you can cut out completely, then do that. If it's something that you need to journal about, then do that. Maybe someone's yelling at you and it makes you stressed and they continually, you might have to get yelled. Maybe it's your boss, right? And they yell at you. If you can, find a new job, eliminate that stress. But if you can't, for whatever reason, you can't wrap your mind around moving away from this situation, potentially having a conversation with yourself, like make it fun. If in that example, right, if your boss is yelling at you and it makes you stress, when they're yelling, in your mind, block out the yelling and make them go meet me, meet me, meet. it's gonna just make life more whimsical. So basically, if you're dealing with stress, make life a little more whimsical and definitely dive into your creativity. That is one way to manage stress, is basically put your energy into something that's positive, that you can create, that's going to, help your brain feel good. When we're creating, that's basically like one of the best things that we can do for ourselves. Whatever you like to do when you create, lean into that if you are feeling stressed. So yeah, it's gonna just help you. If things feel overwhelming, dive into that creativity. Cut out whatever's making you stress as much as possible, and definitely take some deep breaths. That's probably the easiest, most priceless way of relieving stress when things feel overwhelming. Take a deep breath. A few of those, 10 of those, and the stress will have subsided tremendously. Our next question is, how can I stop negative self-talk and build more confidence? Love this question. So if you want to stop negative self-talk, you're going to have to become more self-aware. So number one, you need to start meditating, because when you meditate, you'll be able to keep track of your thoughts better than if you don't. When you meditate, it kind of gives you a bit of a separation between your thoughts and yourself as the spiritual person, like the person behind the body. And so when you start to meditate, you'll see throughout your day that you might even be able to catch those thoughts, right? So that's what started happening for me and for many other people. They meditate and they're able to see or hear or whatever, however you experience thoughts. When, say, like you're washing the dishes, maybe in your head you're just going in about how bad life is or something. When you meditate, you'll be like, whoa, right now I'm just thinking about how bad life is. In those moments, you need to start saying positive things, positive affirmations about yourself. I don't care if it's as simple as I am okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I am happy, I am happy. It can be anything. And this might feel ridiculous in the beginning, but I promise you, you can override the system of your brain and that negative self-talk with positive affirmations and positive thinking by simply hearing your thoughts. So first step is meditation, so that you can actually start to hear your thoughts, and in those moments, change it. For me, let's give one example, right? When I was healing my skin, I had to deliberately, while I was doing my skincare, which maybe previously I would have negative thoughts, right? Like I'm touching my skin, it's like, I don't like this, or this doesn't feel good to me. That's negative. We don't ever want to feel that, deal with that. We do not want that to be our reality, right? So now I have built myself to a place in my skincare routine where I'm just doing my skincare routine and I'll hear my thoughts and it's like, I love my skin. I'm so pretty. And sometimes I'll laugh out loud because it's like, dang, wow, like I really trained myself to think this way about my face, about my skin, and look at where I am now compared to where I was before. Right. So you can override the system and just start saying positive things repeatedly. And go deeper into this, the better you get at it. So even the first thing when I wake up, I will like when my sentience comes back, when I even before maybe I open my eyes, right? I'm just back alive from sleep. I will immediately, I am motivated for the day. God, thank you for this day. I'm so blessed to be alive. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so grateful. Because when you're first waking up, your subconscious mind is open and you are able to rewire your brain. So, positive thinking, positive affirmations, whether you have to say it out loud, saying out loud is very powerful. And then also saying it in your head repeatedly. Next question is, what's one small daily practice that can really improve my overall well-being? You ready for this? I hope you're ready. It's stretching. Stretch that body. Yeah. Stretch. 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 I have a video called How to Activate Your Honey Energy, and it's the first one that I made, where I go into fascia and myofascial tissue and how our tissues basically, our myofascial tissue can tense up when we're stressed and hold on to emotions. And when we stretch, we can actually release those stored emotions and feel better, feel release. Stretching is so good. It's one way to be active without actually having to be super active and get your heart rate up. The more flexible you are, the more you're able to flow. It calms stress, it calms your mind. When you move your body, you still the mind, you breathe deeper. It's more challenging. It's challenging for your mind. Stretching is very challenging for your mind. It's not that challenging physically. It's just allowing your mind to believe that you are more and more flexible. That is basically going to be holding the stretch for longer. If I would say one thing to improve your overall well-being, one daily practice, get on a yoga mat and stretch. Right. How do I balance taking care of myself without feeling guilty or selfish? That's a good question. To balance taking care of yourself without feeling guilty or selfish, this question to me almost doesn't even make sense, because I can't even imagine taking care of myself and feeling guilty. Maybe let me not say that. That feels a little, that doesn't feel completely authentic. But I'll say you have to think about the way that you're going to move in the world if you don't, right? If you don't take care of yourself, the way you'll be treating people will actually make you feel guilty. It will actually make you feel selfish. If you haven't fed yourself all day, and say you have a son and you finally get a muffin or something to eat, and your son's like, "Mommy, can I have some?" And you haven't taken care of yourself all day. You're super hungry. And he asks you for this muffin. You're going to be like, "No, I'm hungry." Hopefully not. But if you took care of yourself earlier, you would be like, "You know what, son, here, take the whole thing because I'm fed. My cup is full." And so just that example of feeding yourself with literal food, you have to feed yourself in all areas of self-care, right? So literally nurturing your soul, doing the things that you said you were going to do, seeking out opportunities, like just taking full advantage of life. You should never feel guilty. And I know those are feelings that can be hard to overcome. So you kind of just have to overcome it by rewiring your brain. And a good way to do that is journaling about why self-care is actually going to be good for you, why you shouldn't feel guilty, right? Why do you? Where does that even come from? You know, maybe you had to take care of people and always put them first, and now you're wired for that, and you actually need to relearn how to take care of yourself without feeling selfish? How are you going to really give your service to the world and serve the world if you're not serving yourself first? You're not going to be able to do the best that you possibly can. And you always want to be striving to do the best that you possibly can in life. Therefore, you have to be the best that you are to do the best. And to be the best that you are, you need to take care of yourself. Our next question is, how do I set goals without feeling like I'm failing when I don't hit them right away? How do I set goals without feeling like I'm failing when I don't hit them right away? Ooh, girl. As a woman, things change for me so often. And I would say set your goals with knowing this in mind. Knowing that you have a plan, but God has a better one. So if you don't hit a goal right away, it wasn't, one, you could work harder to reach that goal, right? Two, God has something better for you. So maybe it's a goal that is not going to align with you in a few months, and maybe you're being redirected somewhere. Maybe you need to take inventory of, have you actually been working toward this goal consistently and doing what you said you would? Because if not, it makes sense that you didn't hit the goal in the time that you wanted. Are you continually pursuing being better at whatever it is that you have a goal for every single day? Are you adding on top of whatever you're doing to become better? This is something that literally, I would say it's something that I have been working on recently. It takes actual research. It takes you saying, okay, I've been doing this for the past 2 weeks. How can I build upon it? How can I get better? Get better. You have, in order to get better, you actually have to be conscious about it. Like, you have to make a plan. You have to open your eyes to new ways to do things. You have to read books. So also know that failure only sets you up for bigger success. Literally clap and smile every time you fail, because you learn something new. You're just making yourself better every single time that you fail. Every person who is successful says that failure is a part of it. Also, another book recommendation I have is The Diary of a CEO. Is that what it's called? It's like 33 Laws to Business and Life, something like that. I'll put a little picture of the book here. In this book, one of the laws or something that he talks about is failing. You have to fail to get better. You have to fail to get better. What should I do when I know what's good for me, but just can't seem to do it? I'm sorry for laughing at these questions. It's just funny because it's so relatable. We all go through these things. So this is the last question. What should I do when I know what's good for me, but just can't seem to do it? When you know something is good for you and you can't do it, I would start to remove the bad things out of my life. Because sometimes adding good things on top of what's already bad it's not gonna work. Like, it might work for a little bit, but it's not gonna work in the long term. So you need to start moving out the negative things, and perhaps that good thing that you're trying to do is going to become a lot easier. When you want to do good things, become a good person, it takes becoming that person, and that person likely doesn't have all those bad things that's sitting underneath in the way, right? If you can't seem to do it, it's because it's not who you are yet, and you just need to become that person. Ways that you can become that person are by studying the people who are like that. What do they do? And then implementing that. A lot of the time, I'm very wellness oriented and very mind body oriented, and something for me that is just a no-brainer when it comes to that is nutrition. And a lot of the time, our mineral deficiencies, not getting the proper nutrients and vitamins, can literally make you do things that you don't want to do, or not do the things that you actually do want to do. So if there's something that you want to do and you can't seem to do it, look at what you are doing and then look at minerals or vitamins that are connected to that thing, if possible. Also, just because if you don't have the energy to do that, that's basically what everything is, right? You want to do something, you can't seem to do it. The energy isn't there for you to do that. You need to get more energy so that you can basically move and be the bubble that passes into the surface and becomes vapor, right? So when we think about boiling water, there's bubbles at the bottom. Some of them kind of recycle, right? Because it's hot and cold. I'm giving you a slight gastronomy lesson right here. Hot and cold water. That's why the water is boiling, right? Because hot stuff rises, cold stuff sinks. And there's some bubbles that bubble to the top, and the energy right there at the top of the water is so high that they get to become vapor. So sometimes in order to transition into something new, do those good things that you know are good for you, become that new person, you need some energy in order to get to the next level, right? To become from liquid to gas, to change state, to transform, to transition. You need some energy. And a lot of time that's lacking vitamins, nutrients. For energy, I can definitely recommend some spirulina, some moringa, wheatgrass, maca roots, and then staying hydrated, of course, is going to energize you at the cellular level, which is very important. So when something's not good for you, don't blame yourself. It's just who you are, right? Like, don't be mad at yourself for who you are right now. Enjoy every moment of who you are right now. You're going to become that person. You just have to do the things to become that person that does the good thing. So remove those bad habits and start, taking care of your health. And look at the things that you might be missing. Maybe you need some vitamin D. It's getting cold. The sun is not as hot as it was before. And now I need some vitamin D. And on that note, thank you for listening to our wellness and mindset chat. I don't know what to call this. Ask Kira, questions with Kira, conversations with Kira. I don't know. Does it have to be with Kira? It is with me, so maybe it does. Let me know if you can think of some names in the comments, and leave some more questions for me in the comments. And stay golden. Right when I'm done, guys. Right when I'm done.